Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's get everything set. Good morning, Angela. Roger, good morning. Let's see. Let's make sure we are in focus on YouTube. Sandra, good morning. Sharice, good morning. Good morning. Miguel, good morning, my brother. I'm going to call you Miguel since you won't call me. And we're going to rap today, man. We're going to rap. Anitris, good morning. Good morning. Renata, good morning. Robert, good morning. Talking about an effective mastermind, right? 3 keys to an effective mastermind. That's what we're talking about today. You guys know that I'm always encouraging you to take a look at some good information. And of course, we all know that Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich is a killer. Hey, can you grab my my charger out of the bag? Because I know this laptop is going to die before. Yeah, thank you, babe. All right, so while I get the laptop plugged up, let's see if we got some synergy and alignment. While I'm doing this, give me what you think one of the 3 keys to an effective mastermind is. What do you guys think one of the keys to an effective mastermind would be? And then I'll give you guys my 3 as we go throughout the show today. Right? 3 keys to an effective mastermind. Let's see what say ye. And then I'll go back and read some of them and see who's got some synergy and alignment with me, and if we're thinking along the same lines. Harmony. I like that. All right, and then let me get this. Get my phone plugged up too. Common goals, good. I like that. All right, keep them coming. I'm gonna go ahead and start the show, and I'll come back and read some of those as we get into the deal. So let me go ahead and start the show on YouTube real quick because we're a little bit behind, but we're gonna roll straight through, man. I think you guys are gonna love today's show. All right, here we go. All right, start broadcast. Yes.
Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real weapons being real myself. My life done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real weapons being real myself. My life done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money.
Being wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. You don't like money so much, why do you get up and go to work? Yes, I do get up all the things that we think you got to say. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. H. Cortez.
Good morning, y'all, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, where I do my absolute best to bring practical, proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you guys each and every morning on Talking Money in the Morning Live. And I'm reporting live to you today from Monetize My Life Academy Studios, guys. It is about to go down. A lot of you guys have gotten your ebook. If you got the PDF and got a chance to read a little bit of the PDF, comment Monetize My Life in the comments, man. If you've gotten your PDF, you got a chance to go through it a little bit. And maybe you not haven't finished the whole thing, but you got a chance to go through it a little bit. I want you to give me a little bit of a testimony if you've seen anything. Just give me a line or two that you may have picked up on, and just that you've gotten the PDF. I still haven't gotten my proof, man. Lulu is slow as heck, man. But let the people know that people are getting the book and they're checking it out. So what Monetize My Life is my latest book. And basically it's 4 incredibly simple ways to profit from your passions with little to no startup costs. And we go through some scenarios in that book to just open your mind up to the possibility of the fact that there's more in what you know than what you do. And sometimes we are so busy doing things to make income, to build wealth, that the things that we know to do, we could be making a lot more money if we knew what to do and how to package and how to promote and how to market the things that we know. So Monetize My Life is all about those things right there. Taking what you know, taking what you are passionate about, and turning it into a business and an income stream, so that you can make some passive and residual incomes based on what you know, because you've stored up all of this knowledge residually. So you can get your copy at monetizemylifeacademy.com. So monetizemylifeacademy.com is where you can pre-order the book. The book comes with a 3-month subscription to Monetize My Life Academy, which is the virtual Monetize My Life school, where you will be taught these different strategies and how to employ them. Anything from online marketing, from email marketing, website building and design, graphics, everything that I know how to do as it relates to building my brand, I will be pouring into you, into this membership club called Monetize My Life Academy. And you get 3 months free if you pre-order the book today at monetizemylifeacademy.com. So, do me a huge favor, if you're checking us out on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm approaching 800 subscribers, guys. I'm super excited about that, man. Words cannot express to you the love that I feel because of the support, because of the engagement. I get a lot of comments on YouTube and on the streams. Man, words cannot express to you how I feel, and I'm so thankful that I'm able to share with you, and that it is well received. So grab the link, share it on your favorite social media timeline, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like to share links, and invite people to come check out the show. And you guys on Facebook, do the same thing for me. Go ahead and share the stream on your timeline. Invite some people. You might be wanting to mastermind with some people, right? And they may not have no idea what a mastermind is, but if you invite them to today's show and we give them the 3 keys to an effective mastermind, maybe you guys can start putting some things together, and it can start transforming some relationships that you have now that may be casual, and they can catapult these relationships to another level, and you can come together and start getting some things accomplished, major accomplished. So and also the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff, that helps Facebook say that, hey, you guys got some quality content, and we want to push it out in front of more and more people. Now, for those of you who may be on the show for the first time, I usually get at least one first time. If this is your first time checking out the show, comment first time. If this is your first time checking out the show, comment first time. I usually get some first timers, so I like to let you know exactly who this show is for, man. This show is for risers and grinders only. If you're ready to get up, get out, and get something each and every day, moving forward towards your dreams, then this is your show. This show is for legacy builders. If you're like me, you're sick and tired of seeing every single generation start over, and you're trying to build a family empire. You're trying to create a dynasty. You're trying to create a legacy, then this is your show. Right? This show is for those who, like me, every night I lay down, I think about, what am I going to do tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next 5 years, to make sure that my children's children are proud to bear my last name. This is your show, right? Because I've made the determination that I am going to leave my mark on this world, and not just a stain, right? People will know hundreds of years from now that H. Cortez was in the building. I don't know about you, but people hundreds of years from now will know that H. Cortez was in the building. And if that's you and you have similar aspirations, then this is your show. On the other hand, who is the show not for, right? It's not for the bump on the log. It's not for the person with a low aspirations. It's not for the pessimist. It's not for that person who has got that weird relationship with money. Think money is evil. Capitalism is a dirty word. Think wealthy people are snobs. If that's you, get off my stream, man, because everybody on this stream is wealthy in their own right, right? And what's the difference between riches and wealthy? Riches really tend to focus on a monetary figure. Wealth, on the other hand, is abundance of multiple resources, not just an abundance of money, but abundance of resources, period. An abundance of joy. How many of you guys know that joy is a resource? An abundance of happiness. How many of you guys know that happiness is a resource? An abundance of peace. An abundance of creativity. How many of you guys know that creativity is a resource? An abundance of vision. Vision is a resource. A lot of people lack vision. That's why they perish, right? So if that's you and you can't stand wealthy people, get off my stream, right? And like I tell you each and every morning, man, I have no problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. You may have an abundance of everything in your life and you may be content. I only have a problem with you when you have a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. Don't judge me because I'm a future billionaire. Don't judge me because I aspire to greatness, right? So if that's you, you can exit stage left. We won't miss you. But as I tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, then I want you to take a screenshot. Jeez. Hold me to it and watch me work. Now, problem with you watching me work, though, is if you're watching me work, you may not be building your own empire. Now, if you're watching me work a little by little and you're taking some of the things that I'm doing and implementing in your life, that's one thing. But if you're sitting on the sideline cheering for me or cheering against me and doing nothing towards your own empire, wrong answer. Don't do that, right? Get in the game with me and let's both race to $1 billion, right? Because even if we fall short and land on 100 million, I think you can live on that. I think you can live on that if we fall short, right? See, I shoot for the stars, and if I land on the moon, I'm still going to be okay. I'm still far ahead of most. Some of you guys are afraid to dream that big. So today's show is brought to you by Black Lit Week. Guys, I'm looking for 5 more self-published authors that may want to get their material out in front of a good audience of people. So get with me, send me an inbox if you're a self-published author and you want to publish and if you want to promote your book on my show. Get a 30-minute plug. A 30-minute plug on my show. I will do an interview with you. I'm gonna then, for those who participate, I got 5 out of the 10. I want 10. So we're gonna do Black Lit Week, and I'm gonna feature those who are self-published, because as a self-published writer, I know it's not easy to get your material out there and get books sold and those sorts of things. I have a little bit of a platform here, so I want to use that and bless some people. Now, it's not a free opportunity, but it is cost effective, because what are you going to get? You're going to get the opportunity to be on the show for 30 minutes. You're going to get the recording of your interview on the show. Then I'm going to break the recording up into 2 other smaller chunks that you can leverage in your marketing. Then in addition to that, you're also going to get a free 1-hour webinar with me where I'm going to give you some marketing tips and strategies on how to better promote your book and get it out there, right? Give you some ideas, give you some coaching on how to build a system, give you some coaching on how to leverage this opportunity to sell more books, maybe help you put your offer together if you don't have an offer. We talk all the time. There's a difference between there's a difference between an offer and a product, right? You can have your book as your product, but what is your offer? So I'm going to help coach you through that so you can maximize this opportunity, coach you through leveraging the video content, coach you through leveraging the flyers and the promos that I'm going to be doing for that. All of that for just $50. I have 5 more slots available. So if you know self-published authors who are struggling to get their book in front of people, have them get in touch with me. Yvette says she's number 6. Actually, I got you, Yvette. You're number 5. I got you at that number 5. So I need 5 more. So if you know them, Miguel said he'll be in that number as well. Okay, cool. So now I have 4 slots available, and then we're gonna grind it out, man. And for those who jump on now, you actually, I like to over deliver with everything that I do. So you'll see that one of my authors who jumped on and took the opportunity right away, she's going to get a plug today for taking action early on. So I like to over deliver in anything that I offer. So let's get into this mastermind deal, man. 3 keys to an effective mastermind, right? First, let me give you the definition. And now this is coming from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, right? Think and Grow Rich. So I was doing a little study and I said, man, let me get into this mastermind principle. And this is one of those things where you never see. I got some things highlighted in this book. This is a new version. My last one got loaned and never returned. My last one got loaned and never returned. So I had to get another one. But when you are going through material like this, it causes you to grow. And now let me give you this analogy real quick. Years ago when I read this stuff, I read the mastermind principle. And guess what? Some of the stuff in the mastermind principle went over my head. I won't even lie to you. Over my head. But since I've read it, I've grown. So now I'm a little bit taller. And the things that went over my head in the first passing, in the first reading, are now hitting me right here. And I'm able to absorb them. But guess what? I'm sure there's a few things that are still going over my head right now. But as I apply these strategies, it's going to cause me to grow a little bit more. The next time I read it, bang. Those things that went over my head the second pass are going to hit me right in the head, and I'm going to be able to absorb it. That's why you never get rid of books like this. You always read them over 2 or 3 times a year, because as you grow, you get more and more and more out of them. So this is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, one of the all-time classics. So let's just go with the definition of mastermind. The definition is a coordination of knowledge and effort in spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose, right? And then he breaks it down. There's 2 different things. There's 2 different aspects to the mastermind. There's an economic aspect and there's a psychic aspect. He talks about economically, some of the people like Ford and Firestone and some of those people who became part of that mastermind collective, and how Ford came out of poverty, but it wasn't until he developed this mastermind with some other people that they all began to grow. And that's powerful, right? That's powerful. So, and then the psychic approach is what you can get out of a mastermind when you fully understand this power and its capabilities, right? So the definition is the coordination of knowledge and effort in spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. How many people do you have to have a mastermind? Just 2, man. See, some of us want these big mastermind, these big cliques, and these big groups and these big posses, right? Just 2. All that's required is just 2. 2 or more, right? So me and another person creates a mastermind, right? So I'm going to read some excerpts from the book. So let me give you my number 1 key to an effective mastermind. Number 1, choose carefully. Choose carefully. Pick your mastermind wisely. Think about it carefully, who you're going to choose to mastermind with. Choose your mastermind carefully is number 1, right? Because there are 2 types of energy that flows out of a mastermind. There's 2 types of energy that flows out of a mastermind. Number 1 is negative. Number 2 is positive. Right? So there's only 2 types of energy that will flow out of a mastermind. There's negative energy and there's positive energy. So you have to choose your mastermind extremely carefully. Choose your mastermind carefully. So in other words, the power of association is so real. A lot of people just don't recognize that how powerful it is. And Henry Ford's first mastermind was him and his wife. Same here. Same here. That's my initial mastermind. Me and my sugar. Right? We mastermind. That's the first mastermind, man. All it takes is 2 people working together with common ground in harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose, right? 2 types of energy comes out of a mastermind, positive and negative. So if you choose the wrong mastermind, man, it could mess you up. And don't get me wrong. Every mastermind has somebody that has a little bit of negativity in it. You have to. You have to, because there's a balance in polarity. You have to, there's a balance of negative and positive in everything, right? So you can't have a 100% positive mastermind. You have to have somebody in that's got a little bit of a negative thought process, somebody that will always in your mastermind group bring up the negative that could happen, right? And that's a very necessary evil, because now it allows you to game plan for the bad that can happen. So we call that person a pessimist, right? You got everybody else talking about how great the thing is, and you got that one guy saying, but wait a minute, guys, what if this? Now, all you need is one of those guys. You don't need a room full of those what if this guys, right? But one of those what if this guys helps to feed the mastermind different scenarios so that you can start to game plan for the what if this happens. You don't be completely naive to the mastermind not going according to plan, right? So number one, you choose your mastermind carefully, right? That's number one. So let me read something else out of the book. It says coordination of knowledge and effort and spirit and harmony between two or more. That is the definition. Something else that I got highlighted here says we will here explain the two characteristics of the mastermind principle, and this is the economic and the psychic. The economic advantages may be created by any person who surrounds himself with the advice, counsel, and personal cooperation of a group of men who are willing to lend him wholeheartedly aid in a spirit of perfect harmony, right? So to give you the biblical equivalent, I think in Proverbs it says there is strength in a multitude of counselors, right? So that's another type and shadow of a mastermind principle. And if you are looking to gain an economic advantage, then yes, you should be surrounding yourself with people who will willing to wholeheartedly, like myself, Project 1000, Extra Digit Movement, right? We are trying to create masterminds all over the country where we will wholeheartedly lend, help, aid, cooperation to aid in the building of wealth in the individual's life who decides to mastermind with us, right? But he says the psychic phase of the mastermind principle is much more difficult to comprehend. You may catch a significant suggestion from this statement. No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind, right? No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. So if you guys were on yesterday's stream, I alluded to this a little bit yesterday. I call it God's math, right? God's math is different than man's math, right? God can take one whole person, another whole person, put them together like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Good morning. I see you guys on the stream, and make one whole person. He doesn't take a half person and a half person, put them together to create one whole person. No, he takes one whole person, another whole person, and puts them together and makes one person. See, that's God's math. God's math says this. He can take 90% and make it go further than the whole 100%. If you understand the principle of giving and tithing. See, God's math is a little bit different. He can take 90% and make it go farther than the whole 100%. That's God's math. Here's another one of God's math, right? God is a mathematical genius. This is another one of God's math. One can put 1,000 to flight. So you think if one person can put 1,000 to flight, then you add two people, then they can put 2,000 people to flight. And that's not God's math. That's man's math. One could put 1,000 to flight. Two could put 10,000 to flight. How in the heck if one can only do 1,000, the other person can only do 1,000 by himself, you put the two together and they can put 10,000 to flight. Why? Because of the mastermind principle. Because when the two come together in harmony, they create a third invisible and tangible mind that is greater than the two individually, but exponentially greater than the two together. See, that's God's math. One can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. Right? Or if you want to go Matthew 18:20, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them. So when 1 or 2 gather, let me read something else before I go on to my book excerpt. Let me read this one because this is powerful. This is powerful. So when we're thinking about Matthew 18:20, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my namesake, and this is Jesus talking, there I am in the midst of them. It says, when 2 or more people coordinate in a spirit of harmony and work towards a definite objective, they place themselves in position through that alliance to absorb power directly from the great universal storehouse of infinite intelligence. This is the greatest of all sources of power. When 2 come together in harmony towards a definite purpose, they position themselves to extract from infinite intelligence. In other words, they position themselves to pull directly from the source, God's intelligence. That's why one can put 1,000 to flight, another could put 1,000 to flight on his own, but when they come together, they can put 10,000 to flight because they can pull directly from God's intelligence, infinite intelligence from the universe. Number 1, to create a solid mastermind, an effective mastermind starts with the choice of your mastermind. Choose your mastermind carefully, right? What I'm saying is when you mastermind, you multiply your brain power. See, I have a set amount of brain power that I have, but if I want to exponentially multiply that brain power, all I have to do is get with another powerful brain. You guys ever wonder why? Most remote controls take 2 AA batteries or 2 AAA batteries. And I'm saying to myself that if 2 batteries can make the remote control work, and it works very well from 500 feet away from the TV, then 1 battery should make it work when I'm really, really close to the TV, right? But it doesn't work like that because 1 battery has a limited amount of power. And what you don't realize is that exponential growth. When you add a second battery, you don't add twice the battery power. You exponentially grow the amount of energy that comes out of the 2 batteries joined together. Right? Same thing. You don't just take what your thought process and you say this person has this IQ, this person has that IQ, you put them in the room together and you got this IQ plus this IQ. No, you have this IQ plus this IQ multiplied exponentially by the IQ of the third, the collective of the 2 IQs together working in harmony. So number 1 way to create an effective mastermind is to choose your mastermind carefully. Choose carefully. So let me go into this real quick. I told you. So those who are ready to take action, and if you're a self-published author and you want to get your material out, then go ahead. I will inbox me. I'll give you the directions to PayPal, the $50 payment, and we'll start working together and promoting your book. So this is Through My Eyes, Brandy Gates, right? Brandy Gates. She was the first to say, you know what? I need a platform to promote my book. So let me give you a little bit of excerpt from her book. She says 10 guidelines for a new start. I'm not going to go into each guideline, but if you want to take notes, she got some scriptural references here that I will give the guideline and the scriptural reference. Number 1, be intimate with God. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Number 1, be intimate with God. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Number 2, be kind to others. These are 10 guides for a new start. If you've gone through some stuff and you say, you know what, I just need a fresh start. I need to become a new me and become a better me. These are 10 guides to best start. Number 1, be kind to others. Romans 14:19 through 20. Again, this is Through My Eyes by Brandy Gates. Through My Eyes by Brandy Gates. Number 3, cleanse your mind. Philippians 4:8. Right? Express feelings with love and honesty daily. That's Proverbs 27:5, 1 Peter 3:7. Right? Express feelings with love and honesty daily. That was number 4. Number 5, be aware of your actions, man. Right? I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we get into the 2 and 3 of the Mastermind Principle. 2 Corinthians 9:7. Number 6, be humble and being humble and being successful work together. One of my favorite hashtags on my taglines when I autograph my books, I always tell people 2 things. Stay hungry, but stay humble. Stay hungry, but stay hungry. Yes, be hungry for success, but stay humble as you're pushing through and attaining. Right? And that's Colossians 3:15. Trouble is temporary. This is powerful. When you understand this, then you can create a new start almost immediately. Hebrews 12:6 through 10. Guard your heart. Right? Be careful, people, about what you let go into your eye gate, your ear gate, your third eye gate. You got to be careful, man. Guard your heart. Proverbs 23:7. Practice daily worship. Psalms 46:10. And then number 10 is don't allow sin to enslave you. That's 1 John 1:6 through 10. That again comes from Brandy Gates, Through My Eyes. That's 10 things that you can do to create a new start. So she will be on the show May 8th through 12th is when we're going to do our Black Lit Week, man. I want you guys to start supporting our Black writers and authors, musicians, and that sort of thing, man, because you can create a virtual mastermind by reading people's work like this. This is how you create a virtual mastermind, right? So we are on to number 2. So number 1, in creating that mastermind, choose carefully. Right? Because there's two types of energy that come out of mastermind, positive and negative. You need a little bit of both in every mastermind. It should be heavily positive with a little bit of negativity. If you skew that balance, then it could throw off your mastermind. Number 2, how to create an effective mastermind. You expect, but don't force. Right? When you understand the mastermind principle, when I mastermind with Evan, when I mastermind with some of my teammates in Project 1000, I expect great things to come out of the mastermind, but I don't force it. I don't force it. Right? I'm expecting great things to come out of the mastermind, but I don't force. Right? Sometimes the greatness don't come out of the mastermind until we break for lunch. Until we break for the end of the session and I'm driving in my car and I'm on my way home and I think back to something that one of my mastermind partners said. And then I get an epiphany and bam, that's when I get the effect of the mastermind principle. I expect greatness to come from the mastermind, but you can't force it. You cannot force it. Right? Expect the great things because great things will come out of every mastermind. How can it not? When we just read that when you get into a mastermind, you are in position to access infinite knowledge. You are in position to access the mind of God. How can greatness not come out of that? But if you're forcing it, there's chances are you can pull some things out of that mastermind that will send you in the wrong direction. Right? So you expect greatness to come out of every mastermind. You just don't force it. Right? Expect greatness, but you don't force it. Let me see what else that I have in here. Now, nope, that's for number 3. That's for number 3. All right. So, yeah. Yeah, that's for number 3 because that's powerful too. All right. Yes, this great power can be accumulated through no other power. Again, we're talking about multiplying our brain power, right? Same as the example with 1 battery versus 2 batteries. And he talks about that in the book. Yeah, 1 battery that can do only so much. Put 2 batteries in and you assume that 2 batteries can do twice as much. No, 2 batteries can do exponentially more than 1 battery. 2 brains can do exponentially more than 1 brain. And I want you to think about the greatness that the brain is. We understand that we only use 12 to 15% of our brain because most of what we do on autopilot through subconscious suggestions and habits. So we don't have to use much of our brain, but we understand how great the brain is. And really, here's why I want you to get the mastermind principle. When you understand how great the brain is and what the brain can do, and now there's a suggestion that when 2 brains come together, they can actually position themselves to access the ultimate brain. Man, y'all better start masterminding today. You just gonna leave without giving me no sugar? That's what you better come get my sugar. Don't be blowing me no kisses. You better come get me my sugar, lady. I'm on with it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, babe. Have good. So that is my number 1 mastermind partner right there, right? Mastermind. You got to mastermind. So you understand that great as you are, as intelligent as you are, and here's where some people are allowing ego to keep them from their true potential. See, ego says, I can do it on my own. Ego says, I can do it on my own. But let me tell you something about doing something on your own. If you have a mission, a dream, vision, goal, any of that stuff that you can do on your own is not big enough in the first place. If you have a mission, dream, goal, vision, anything that you want to accomplish, if you can accomplish it on your own, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. You're not dreaming big enough. If whatever it is that you're trying to do, you can do it on your own, man, it's not big enough. Period. So don't let ego keep you from masterminding with someone where you can put yourself in position to access the mind of God, infinite intelligence, to create something even greater. Don't let ego put you in a position where you think that you can do it all on your own. I talk about this all the time, man. People say people talk about self-made millionaires. Man, there's no freaking such thing as a self-made millionaire. No such thing. No such thing. Everybody who's created any wealth, especially if they built it from scratch, had to mastermind with somebody. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times people don't understand the mastermind principle and they just have board meetings and that kind of stuff. So they're unconsciously unaware of the principle that they're tapping into when they have board meetings and different discussions and all. But it is a mastermind principle. They just are not consciously aware that that's what they're doing. But no man or woman has ever attained anything of substance without masterminding with others. So number 2 was expect greatness to come from your mastermind, but don't force it. Sometimes the greatness comes 2, 3, 4, 5 days later when I'm thinking back on what took place in the meeting. I'm going over the notes of the meeting. Sometimes the mastermind planted the seed and it doesn't germinate or it doesn't get nurtured until I'm in a certain situation. And this is how the universe works. This is how God works. I got the seed in the mastermind, in the midst of my peers that I'm growing and I'm building with. The seed got planted, but I didn't force it, right? I didn't try to make it grow. I didn't pull a Monsanto and inject some genetics from another mastermind to try to force it to grow. No, I got the seed. We parted ways. It didn't happen. I didn't force greatness to happen. But as I'm going through my day-to-day life, I'm just working. I'm just doing my thing. All of a sudden, the universe, God, puts somebody in my path that says a word, and that word triggers the thought of the mastermind, and that word is the water for the seed to get that seed to die first, because every seed, when it goes in the ground, dies first, and then it germinates and springs forth. See, sometimes the mastermind just plants the seed. And then you might have to be in another mastermind, or you might have to be just going about your day. And I might be driving down the road and I might see a freaking billboard that has a slogan on it. And that slogan takes me back to my mastermind, and that mastermind would put the seed. Now that slogan becomes the water for the seed. That seed then dies and begins to germinate. And something great starts to bubble up and bud inside you. That's why you expect, but you don't force the greatness to come out of every. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you just sit in a room and, man, $1 billion idea just comes right out of that room because of the mind, that invisible, intangible mind that exists in that room as we're together. But sometimes there's a delayed reaction. Sometimes there's a delayed reaction, but I'm still expecting something to happen out of that meeting that hasn't really happened. I'm expecting some things to come out of a mastermind I had 10 years ago that hasn't really manifested, but the seeds are there. How many of you guys know? See, I don't know if you guys know. I'm a bootleg farmer, right? I'm a bootleg farmer. So I study, I garden, I compost, I do all of that stuff. But you guys realize that they got seeds that have come out of tombs in the pyramids in Giza, in Egypt. Thousands of years ago. They put those seeds in the right conditions, and those seeds will grow and bear fruit today. So I've got some seeds that were planted in masterminds 10, 15 years ago. But the universe has not created the right conditions for those seeds to die first, then germinate, and then bring forth the fruit. But I'm still expecting that to happen. Because I know it. I know I got seeds right now that I've been holding on to for years. But when I put those seeds in the right condition, give them the right amount of water, put them in the soil, the right depth, give them the right amount of water, put them in the right amount of sunlight, those things will germinate and they will bear fruit forever, as long as I properly care for them, right? So expect, but don't force. Number 3, here's the third one. Here's the third one. When you are in a mastermind, you have to be ready to contribute and ready to receive. Be ready to contribute and be ready to receive. See, some people, again, we go to ego. Some people will go to a mastermind session and they're going in the vein of a leech. I'm not putting none of my ideas on the table, but I want to listen to everybody else's ideas. I'm not giving nothing. I'm just going to receive, to take. I'm going to tell you something, man. When we did the series on mental laws a couple weeks ago, there's a mental law called the law of reciprocity. If you are going to anybody's mastermind thinking you're going to take, and not give anything, I promise you, you are hurting yourself, because you're not going to get anything unless you give something first. Something called the law of reciprocity. So when you go and participate and you're in masterminds, always be ready to give, to contribute, but also be ready to receive. right? Because here's the last thing that I wanted to read from the book. Man, that time flew today. Time flew by today. Here's the last thing. And here's why you have to understand the mastermind principle. You have to understand it. Let me just read this verse. When a group of individual brains are coordinated and function in harmony, the increased energy created through that alliance becomes available to every individual brain in the group. This is why you have to become aware of the principle itself. Because you can be in a mastermind and not realize that you too, just by being in the group, are in position to receive from infinite intelligence. When a group of individual brains are coordinated and function in harmony, the increased energy created through that alliance becomes available to everyone in the group. When a group of individual brains are coordinated and function in harmony, the increased energy created through that alliance becomes available to every individual brain in the group. But if you don't understand mastermind principles, you can be in a mastermind. The mastermind could be tapping into infinite intelligence, and you could be sitting there getting nothing. Anywhere somebody is accessing infinite intelligence, I want to be there reaching up into my mastermind, man, and I want to be drawing from that energy too. Right? So you guys know I'm a youth basketball coach. So I know you guys get sick of the analogies, right? But I'm a youth basketball coach. And in sports, it's called momentum. In sports, it's called momentum, right? How many of you guys have seen a basketball game or heard of a basketball game when the team was down 20, 25 points, fourth quarter, and it looks like it's a wrap for the team? And it looks like it's a wrap. And usually one or two players on that team starts to mastermind right there in the arena in front of everybody. Starts to mastermind right there in the arena in front of everybody, but you don't recognize the mastermind principle that's taking place. One player comes down, gives a good pass to the next player, he hits a layup. Other player comes down, he kicks the ball out to that player, he shoots a three. Now they're aligned. They're on a mission. They have a definite purpose that they're working towards. That's to win the game. They create a buzz and an energy around those two back-to-back plays. Then they go down and they get a defensive stop. And then the rest of the team starts to feed and tap into that energy. And in a moment's notice, that team that was out of the game becomes unstoppable because of mastermind principles. Now, what would happen if they were aware of that to begin with and they tapped into that mastermind principle to begin the game with? It's called momentum, right? It's called momentum. Let me read it one more time, man, because that's good stuff. I don't ever want you guys to sit amongst your leaders, your mentors, your team members. You guys are masterminding. You're creating this group. You're creating and you're opening a door for this energy, and you not reach up and grab any of it, man. That's what happens, man. And sometimes when you don't have the right attitude amongst your mastermind, you're in a funk for whatever reason, you miss your opportunity to grab this powerful energy that could propel you to the next level. When a group of individual brains are coordinated and function in harmony, the increased energy created through that alliance becomes available to every individual brain in that group. That means we all created something. What happens is 5, 6, 7 of us came together, and one could put 1,000 a flight, two could put 10,000 a flight, so 5 could put a million a flight, chances are, right? Because what happens is 2 or 3 come together, 2 come together, and they create a third invisible brain. But that third invisible brain is only so big and can only tap into so much of infinite intelligence. But you're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, gals in a room. Now that invisible brain, that 10th and 10th invisible brain is even bigger and can tap into more of the infinite intelligence. And you mean to tell me you're sitting in a room while that is going on, that portal to infinite intelligence is wide open for everybody in the group to access, and you don't reach up and get none of that energy, man? Because of your ego? Because you don't want to bring nothing to the table? You came there just to take. 3 keys to a powerful, effective mastermind. Number 1, choose your mastermind carefully. Number force it. Expect greatness from the mastermind, but don't force it. Number 3, always be ready to bring to the table before you're ready to take away from the table. Be ready to contribute and be ready to receive. That mastermind is going to open up and create levels of energy that everybody can access. That's part of the mastermind group. So be prepared to get your piece of that energy. When that source opens up and you start to draw from infinite intelligence, yes, we're in a mastermind group and we all have a definite purpose that we're trying to accomplish and achieve, but you can use that energy to feed you in other areas as well. You can use that energy to feed you. And then when you get good at masterminding, you start learning how to access and call up on that energy at will. You start calling up your friends and say, man, we need a mastermind session right now. I've got some stuff that's, man, it's right here. It's right here, but I can't see all of it. It's right here. You get on the phone with a girlfriend or a partner, and you guys start to brainstorm right there. And all of a sudden, the rest of that vision unfolds, and man, it's a powerful, it's a beautiful thing, man. I had my brother Evan call me yesterday. He said, man, you know when I call you, because we talk all the time via Facebook Messenger and all that kind of stuff. But when he calls me, he said, man, you know when a phone call is warranted, that means I got an idea. Let's talk real quick. And we had a little mastermind session. And what you guys are going to see that's going to come out of that mastermind session is going to blow you away. It's going to blow you away. So you when you understand the mastermind principle, and you start to connect with others who understand the mastermind principle, then you start to effectively use and call up on that mastermind when you need it. When you need it. That's the name of the game. Right? See, sometimes we don't know. We get to that place and we're like, man, I got this idea. It's burning, but we don't know how to flesh it out because we don't know how to call on the mastermind principle. And we get this idea, instead of calling on the mastermind principle, we start to try to execute that idea ourselves. And it will never be as great as it could be because we didn't take the opportunity to tap into infinite intelligence, right? We didn't come to agreement with a second and a third person that brings God into it, so that the whole thing can be revealed. That's the name of the game, y'all. So if you're serious about masterminding, here's my shameless plug, right? If you're serious about masterminding to get your finances in order, then you need to connect with me and my team of wealth building strategists, because we're doing something very special all across this country, man. All across this country, some masterminds are taking place. People are getting together in small rooms, and the energy and the ability to tap into that infinite intelligence and we're using it to move in a financial realm, but it could be used in any realm, right? So if you want to get with us, just comment Project 1000 below. If you're here because of me, then I will get with you. If one of my cohorts invited you to check this out and you say, man, I need more of that masterminding going on in my life, especially in the area of my finances, get with whoever invited you to the stream to check it out, and they will help you be part of their Mastermind Alliance and help you get your finances in order. Secondly, if you are an author and you've already got your book published, it's on CreateSpace, it's in stores, you got them 500 of them in your trunk or whatever, and you need help getting that message out, getting your book out, promoting that book, then I got a special offer. I'm doing Black Literacy Week. I want some authors, and where my fellas at right now, the 5 spots that are taken are all women. Right? So I want my brothers out there who's got books out to come on and be a part of this awesome week of promoting Black literacy and authorship. It's $50. You're going to get a 30-minute interview on the show. You guys know the show is syndicated to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. It's also syndicated to iTunes and Stitcher as a part of my podcast. It will also go up on my website and my fan page. In addition to that, you're going to get the raw file of the entire interview. Then, in case you don't know how to edit videos, I'm going to take the interview and I'm going to cut it into 2 short videos that you could use for promo to continue to promote your book. And then I'm going to give you a 1-hour coaching session to help you maximize the opportunity and teach you how to leverage the book, leverage the interview, and all of that stuff, man. You don't get my coaching for $50. But I'm doing this as my way of giving back to those who follow the show. And if I can use the show as a platform to help you promote your book, get it out to more people so that you can grow. Because at the end of the day, man, all of these relationships I'm creating is so that I can mastermind with other people in different areas. So if you have a book out and you want to participate, then give me a shout. I only have 5 spots left, y'all. I can't do more than a week. Now, we will do it again later down the road, but this is going to be May 8th through the 12th. I only have 5 spots left. And the first people who PayPal me that $50 is they lock in their spots, and that's it. I just can't take any more than that. But I will help you get your stuff out there, man. That's just part of who I am, and I love to coach and I love to help, but also I know that my time is valuable, so I can't do all of this stuff that I want to do. I can't always do it for free, guys. So hopefully you can appreciate that. So really quickly, let's recap mastermind principles. Choose carefully your mastermind alliance. Expect, but don't force the greatness to come out of the mastermind. Sometimes all you're going to get out of your mastermind is seeds. Sometimes that's all you're going to get is the seeds for greatness. And then you need to be in other situations to have those seeds nurtured so you can get them to germinate. And then lastly, you have to be ready to receive and to contribute and then receive. So you bring something to the table, and then when that mastermind creates that energy that taps into infinite intelligence, that taps into the mind and the heart of God, where you can reach up and use that energy in you and yourself, then you have to be ready to receive that. So your attitude has to be right when you go into your mastermind alliance. You have to go into with a humble spirit. You can't go into your mastermind alliances with pride, with ego, thinking you're better than everybody else in your mastermind. No, man. Everybody that I come in contact with, I expect to learn something from. Listen to me again, because I want you to really get this. Everybody I come into contact with, I expect to learn something from them. Everybody. Even children, I expect to learn the most from them, because I want to get back to that mindset where I was carefree as a child before I got put into a box and was taught how to think and let my imagination be quenched. So I want you guys to always remember that, man. Everybody you come into contact with, expect to learn something from them. And when that's the expectation, I promise you will every single time. Every single time. So with that, guys, that's the end of the show for today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm your man, H. Cortez, Financial Health Mentor, guys. Until I talk to you tomorrow, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, people.